What is going on, family? Let me know if you can hear me, man. Um, my mic completely nuts right here. Hold on for a second. Hold on. I did a quick pop up, and my headphones went completely nuts on me. Um, Let me know if y'all can hear me. Okay, y'all can hear me fine. We just gonna shoot from the hip this way. Yeah, this is a quick pop up, man. I ain't gonna take too long. Um, so looks like we got your boy Kirk Cousins up out the paint. Um, hold on for a second, fam. Hold on give me like 2 minutes. All right, can y'all hear me? If my mic sounds different, let me know. Uh, yeah, man, I couldn't do those headphones. I couldn't hear a damn thing, man. Okay, everybody's saying it's a thumbs up. All right, so let's get into. I want to get into a couple of things. One, I want to explain to people what logo business is. If you already know, you already know. But if you don't, this picture is a prime example of what logo business is. Kirk is now in the white. I wouldn't be surprised if Kirk don't even show up for the game. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, I think Kirk has a lot more class. So I think he will show up for the last 3 games. But listen, I feel a way about this. Now, I'm pretty sure there was talks that they had behind closed doors. And Kirk didn't like the fact that he was being benched, right? Or it could be Atlanta just went to him and let him know, like, hey, listen, we moving on with the kid long term. And Kirk said, okay, cool. Well, if y'all gonna do it this way, I got a no trade clause. I'm gonna want my 10 million. So whether y'all have me on the bench or not, I don't care. I don't care. I'm not going anywhere. And y'all aren't gonna be able to trade me. No matter where y'all send me, I'm not going because I have no trade. So shout out to Kirk's agent. Kirk's agent is the MVP, bro. Because on top of paying this man 180 million with a 100 million guaranteed, contract's pretty simple to get out of at the end of 2 years, right? Not really that hard to get out of next year, to be completely honest. He's got a 10 million fully guaranteed if he gets injured. And he's got another 10 million if he's on the roster. So honestly, Atlanta's saving $20 million here. If we're doing the math, we get out of the season, he doesn't get injured, he doesn't get that 10 million. Then we get him off the books by March, we save another $10 million. This is 20 million we would have gave this guy for just existing. Right? So I'm gonna have to get another mic, man. I'm gonna have to get another mic. This thing is playing games with me right now. So yeah, let me put this on the board real quick. And again, the reason why I feel a type of way, honestly, the reason why I feel a type of way is the fact that Kirk's agent probably went to him and said, we're not going anywhere. Y'all try to trade us. And that's what his agent's supposed to do. So I understand the business side of it. He's trying to ensure another 10 million for his client. So we got a no trade. We don't care where you try to send us. We're not going. We're gonna make you cut us, and then we get to decide where we go. Similar to what happened to Russell Wilson last year. The only difference with Russ and Kirk, Russ isn't coming off a 5-week span of 1 touchdown and 9 picks. His last year in Denver was actually pretty decent. So the Steelers looked at that and said, man, we can sign him for $1 million. He wasn't really that bad. I'm trying to see what team Kirk would go to where they're going to the playoffs. Because anywhere he would go that's like playoff caliber, he'd be a backup. A lot of these teams right now that need a quarterback, they're not a quarterback away. They're a whole lot of pieces away. You look at Tennessee, they got some pieces they need to fill. He's not going to the Jets. The Jets might keep Aaron Rodgers. So there are a couple things going on, but what I want to do is I want to show, hold on. Let me put this up real quick. I want to put this up because this is probably, while I'm getting set up, how's everybody doing in the chat? I know it's an early pop-up. Y'all used to me coming on late, but I want to put this up because this is probably his last press conference with us, right? And just the body language and just it's a lot of things that he said in this press conference where I was kind of side-eyeing it a bit.
That going to make a change at quarterback. It's pro football, and there's a standard that I have for myself, that the team has for me. That unfortunately, I wasn't playing up to that standard consistently enough, and so it is what it is, and you roll with it, and now you still get ready, one play away kind of a thing, and support Mike, and just try to help our team, be able to find a way to win these last 3 to get in the playoffs, and that's what it's all about. So that's my focus, and take any questions you have.
Kurt, Coach said that the turnovers were an issue at the end of the day. He said you can't have those in the NFL. Can you look back and see at that, and how did you digest that part of it, and how can you try to fix that if you do get another opportunity as a number 2?
Yeah, no, I would agree with him. It probably ultimately was the turnovers, and that's such a key thing in winning and losing the NFL.
There is no probably, Kirk. There is no probably. At one stretch, you had 8 picks against 0 touchdowns. You were 1 of 9. It was the turnovers. It was the fact that you're a statue, that you can't move. It's the fact that you, for whatever reason, fam, when I tell you this is going to be studied, it's going to be studied. I've never seen a quarterback fall off so quickly like Kirk did. Usually this is a gradual thing. With Matt Ryan, it was gradual. This man was playing decent ball and then got to the Saints and flatlined. So ain't no probably to it. This is in the 5-week stretch. He's been the worst quarterback in the NFL. This is no exaggeration. And when you're paying a guy this much money to be the worst quarterback in the NFL, you got to get him up out of there.
And then, long time we see, a lot of football, but stuff looks different We started asking, well, hey, maybe something's not right health wise. Is your How was your health? Was that a factor? It looked like the zip might have not been on the balls lately.
No, I think going back to the turnovers, I think that's more probably decision making than anything, and that wouldn't have anything to do with any physical limitations. So I wouldn't say so.
Now this makes it even worse because D-Led gave him an out. If there's an injury going on or a lingering injury, just go ahead and let us know. Just go ahead and let your boy know. And he said, no, it's just decision making. It's just decision making. So for me, if there was an injury going on, and this is why I think that there's a reason why this news broke before tomorrow. There's a reason. They could have sat on this until the season was over with. They could have sat on it. But they basically came out a day before Michael Penix is set to start his first game and say, hey, we moving on. If it ain't the injury, he's just fallen completely off the cliff. And you can't just fam, when we came and talked about the Raiders game right after. It goes back to what I said. You can't justify putting Kirk Cousins in the starting lineup at all. There's no reason for it. He's telling you right now his decision making is bad. And you're paying this guy. If this was a rookie, man, and we had one in Desmond Ridder, what did we talk about? He needs to get on the bench. I don't care how much money they're paying you. For a rookie, it's a lot easier to get up off of him because you can just trade him, which is what we did with Desmond Ridder. Well, he was a 2-year vet, but still. This guy's going to be it's going to be virtually impossible at this point because his agent probably told Atlanta, hey, listen, we ain't going nowhere. Well, what if we're not going anywhere? Y'all going to have to cut us. And listen, from here on out, Atlanta, from here on out, and I campaigned for this guy. I did. And we needed a quarterback. We did. From here on out, don't go after these guys. Because this is really a selfish move. You've been playing like shit. Your play has probably cost us a playoff spot if we're keeping it a buck. Now, there are a lot of other things that went on. This defense has been trash for the majority of the season. But some of these games, the Chargers game, if your offense looks any sort of decent, we win that game. Now you beat the Chargers. Now you're number one in the NFC South right now. He's playing for the other team. And some people be like, man, sometimes Mark goes back and forth, man. He's flip-flop. No, I'm not. This guy's in the same situation Desmond Ridder was in. And what did I say? Bench him. I don't give a fuck how much we're paying a guy. I don't care what his cachet is. Same problems, same results. Only this time now he's trying and shout out to Terry Fontenot, because they probably told him the minute he got benched, he's not waiving his no trade clause. Look at what you did to us. You blindsided us when you went and got a quarterback at 8. Does that seem like a bad decision now? Honestly, what are we supposed to do? Be beholden to Kirk Cousins' bad play and just allow him to go out there and just make bad decision after bad? This is more than just one guy. And remember, they were salty about it when we drafted Michael Penix. They didn't see it coming. This is why when we made that move, I was looking at what Fontenot was doing. This insurance policy and to secure our future. Just in case Kirk Cousins falls off the cliff. Now, I didn't think he was going to fall off the cliff 9 games in. But here we are. Well, more than 9 games, 14 games, 14. Yet here we are. He started playing bad week 9. But this goes to show the mentality. Like, okay, I'm playing terrible. I still want to start. I'm a little disappointed. Why? Why? Why are you disappointed? In who? It can't be the coaches. You need to be disappointed in yourself. You earned the bench, bruh. Just like you earn the field, you earn the bench. Let's continue.
And mobility, the Achilles was not.
No, I think when you look at it, there was a lot of production. We were 6-3, 9 games in, and had done a lot of good things. And so I don't think there are any real limitations from that standpoint.
To follow up on that, what you said about decision making, did that impact your confidence? Did you feel like you were confident in your decision making process on the field these last few weeks?
Well, the results weren't good enough, but I think that from a confidence standpoint, I don't think that was changing. If anything, maybe you need less confidence to not try to force the ball into tighter windows. So
I disagree with that wholeheartedly. Kirk was throwing in some of these picks were straight to the defense. There was a interception that Kirk Cousins threw. He pump faked it, saw the defender there, and threw it any fucking way. That's a bad decision. Some of these throws, you see him pump faking and then thinking twice before he's throwing. That's got everything to do with confidence. So no confidence, bad decision making equals this. He's missing wide open guys. Pocket clean. He's just missing the throw. When you look at Kirk Cousins' 2 games with Tampa Bay, high confidence, and Kirk knew exactly where he was going to go with the ball. Quick decisions. Every other game, we just being honest, fam. And I like Kirk as a person. His personality is good, but he earned the bench.
I don't think it's confidence as much as just got to make great decisions. You got to make great decisions all the time, and if you don't, you pay for it.
Were you surprised? Did you think that there would be a change at this point in the season?
I don't think, in my years in the league, I've never really had like expectations or been surprised. I think that the league, anything can happen.
When did that conversation with Frankie happen?
Just yesterday.
Last night?
Yep, evening, yep.
And what was that conversation like?
Yeah, it was just, simple and straightforward and, didn't last long.
He said that you guys don't usually talk on the phone, in that time period. Did you kind of know that call might be coming?
When he called, I was aware that it might be, to talk about what the plan is this week. But again, I don't really go in with expectations ever. In this league, so many things can happen or change that you kind of just try to keep an open mind.
Do you think about what this means for your future with the Falcons?
Yeah, I think, again, you're kind of one day at a time right now, and you kind of always are in this league. And then, in the offseason, that's when conversations happen, but we're not there yet.
Anything else?
I think that was one of the biggest lies I've heard in the press conference. I can almost guarantee you he got that call, and he immediately called his agent. I can almost guarantee you, fam. He called his agent and he said, I'm not going anywhere. They're going to have to cut me. You don't put a no trade clause in your contract for nothing. You put it in there to secure money. And the fact that Atlanta's already coming out and saying that they intend to cut him, it already lets you know that their agent has contacted them and said, we're not fucking going anywhere. You're gonna have to cut us so my client can go wherever the fuck he wants to. So yeah, when he talks about us having talks, let me replay this, because this was a blatant fucking lie that he just told.
And you kind of always are in this league. And then, in the off season, that's when conversations happen, but we're not there yet.
Conversations already happened. I ain't going nowhere. I got 10 million if I'm on the books in March. They're going to have to cut me. If they cut me, they're going to carry a dead cap hit. They're going to pay me another 26 million anyway. And I get to go wherever I want to. Now, from a business perspective, I understand it. I'm not even mad from a business perspective. However, bro, you were playing like shit. You were. You were salty because we drafted a QB at 8. There were some people in the fan base that were mad that we picked a QB at 8. How is this turning out now? Imagine if we did not have Penix. And I'm sorry, but a linebacker or anybody else that you wanted at 8 can't throw the football. There is a great possibility we lose 2 out of our last 3 games with the way he's playing. Great possibility. And again, we're 5 weeks into bad play. He has not yet fixed this. So there's no guarantee or a magic pill that he's going to turn it. And we're going, fam, this is a playoff push. He's going backwards. You're supposed to have these kind of games early on in the season. He's going backwards. So again, it's bigger than just this one guy. But him talking about we going into the offseason, stop.
Anything else?
Have you had a chance to talk to the team at all, or the quarterback room, or anything like that since the change from there?
Well, we've had meetings. Talked to Mike last night and just let him know I'd be in his corner and supporting him and trying to help him any way I can. And the quarterback room, just when I'm playing, it's a working force, to help us all, and it's the same now. That doesn't change. So, that sometimes you're just stating the obvious, but still stated it.
You hold yourself to such a high standard. So how are you personally taking this?
It's disappointing. But it's pro football, and there's no entitlement, and so you got to go out and earn it every single day. And I think I've said that really since I got here. You got to go out and earn it every single day. And if you don't, then there's always going to be, you're always going to be competing, and changes can happen.
Did you call Mike last night?
Yeah.
How quickly after you learned did you call Mike?
I don't know. I think I got in the car, drove home, and called him.
What was his reaction? What was the conversation like on his end?
No, yeah, he was great, and he's ready to get to work and play well.
How do you support him now? And you said that was your.
So I'm gonna play this again. I'm a big fan of body language, and he shows a lot of his teeth when they mention Michael Penix, right?
No, I think I got in the car, drove home, and called him.
So you can tell this ate him when he's calling the guy that they drafted. And by this time, Michael Penix probably already got the news. So Kirk didn't need to call him. Penix already got the news that he was going to be starting, right? But to stare your replacement in the face, that's got to be a hurting feeling. It has to. But again, you earn the bench. If you were playing to the Kirk Cousins level of last year, Mike ain't seeing the field for another year. We're talking 2026. But your play wasn't just bad. Your play was god awful. If you had a 2-game skid where you were playing like trash, okay. It's 5 weeks. And then the Raiders game, you can't even explain why you're playing that bad. They're without Max Crosby. You can't even explain why you're playing this bad. And if I'm on the team, if I'm a coach and I'm like, Kirk, what is going on? How can we help you? And in your mind, you're probably thinking to yourself, I don't really know. It's time for you to get the bench.
How quickly after you learned did you call Mike?
I don't know. I think I got in the car, drove home, and called him.
What was his reaction? What was the conversation like on his end?
No, yeah, he was great, and just he's ready to get to work and play well.
How do you support him now? And you said that was your plan. How do you go about doing that? It's been a while since you've been in that role.
Well, we're kind of always working together, so the room doesn't change a whole lot as far as asking questions and taking notes and bringing up thoughts if you have any, and so early in the week, so you kind of go through the process now with first and second down, then third down, then red zone, and more stuff. You tie up loose ends Saturday, and so I think all that happens much together, and so that doesn't really change much.
Not to be redundant about this part of it, but why was it important for you to call Mike last night?
I like to shoot elephants in the room, so I just wanted to shoot one.
No, I did like that. That was a dope response. But he already got the news. He had already gotten it. So Kirk isn't telling. I don't know. We're gonna listen to Michael Penix presser after this. But again, the minute you walked out the door, they probably called Michael Penix and let him know you're starting. So if you got, he said he called him when he was in the car. So I don't know. I don't know what time he left. But Penix probably already had the news. But again, I like Kirk as a person, man. I'm gonna stop it here. I like Kirk as a person, man. But let's just be honest, bro. Like, your play is the reason we're here. And now we're making business decisions on both sides. And I think the Falcons were being a tad bit petty too. Because the Falcons, we could have sat on this till the end of the season. We could have sat on it. Kirk's agent contacts them when he hits the bench. Hey, we're not going anywhere. Any team that you try to trade us to, we're gonna deny. I need to hold on for a second, fam. Okay, I'm back. I get on people about their smoke alarms going off, and I have to put another battery in this bitch. But it went off to the point to where I actually paid attention to it. So yeah, I'm taking this battery out right now. So my fault. Let me get to some of the comments, man. I've been cooking for a minute. Scooter says, I'll draft another quarterback in 2025, maybe somebody in the 4th round. Yeah, you can afford to do it now. I've always liked the move at 8 for Penix. What the hell? The battery is, what the poltergeist type of smoke detector is this? It better not be that one. Man, there's so many smoke detectors in this damn house, bro. But yeah. Sugar says, I really think it's not injury. I think he really just wanted to finesse us, and he did. That could be the case. Again, whatever team he goes to is going to be on a prove-it deal. He's in the same position as Russell Wilson at this point. I just don't think it's the other smoke detector. I just don't think teams are really going to be like lining up to get Kirk Cousins after seeing what the last 5 weeks of the Falcons was. And to be honest, outside of the Tampa games, if I'm gonna keep it a buck, he's been above average. Outside of the Tampa games, I think he's thrown 10 touchdowns. Dude, the Dirty Bird Gang podcast says, don't forget a draft pick on top of that. Yeah. But this is about logo business, man. Atlanta, we could have sat on this. We could have easily sat on this. So I want people to know this. We didn't have to come out with this news. We could have sat on this to the end of the season and then broke this news. When the season's over with, oh yeah, Atlanta plans to cut Kirk. There's a reason they did. Think about this, just from a business perspective. There's no incentive for us to do this. None. If we're cutting him, that means we're getting nothing for him. We're taking a cap hit. We're getting nothing. And the reports I read, it wasn't his agent leaking this. It was Atlanta. And Adam Schefter broke it this morning. How? Now people are talking about the money, right? I heard Shannon Sharp, man, you paid this man. Ocho, you paid this man $180 million, Ocho. First off, these owners are billionaires. The money keeps getting bigger every year with the NFL. And mind you, we took a massive cap hit with Matt Ryan. So we were in a situation a lot worse than Kirk Cousins. We took that cap hit on Matt to get him up out of here. And what happened? Matt was almost in a similar situation. Went to another team, got benched 3 times, got cut. We saw this happen with Denver. Denver took the biggest dead cap hit in NFL history. These owners are letting you, they don't give a fuck about this money. Easy come, easy go. So people talking about, hey, Kirk, get your bag. I ain't even mad. I'm not mad at the money. But what does bother me is you were playing like ass. And you acting like you saw the bench for nothing. Hey, you saw the bench because you were playing god-awful. But then you hop on the phone. I'm saying allegedly, but trust me, I'm looking at the timing. And you told your agent, hey, listen, we ain't going nowhere. We got no trade clause. I'm going to get that $10 million unless they cut me. Because he knows the only team that's probably going to trade for him is a bad team. But to be honest, when we cut you, the only team that's really going to go after you is a bad team. All the good teams already got quarterbacks. There isn't really an ideal team out there that's a quarterback away. And if they are, looking at your body of work the last 5 weeks that you played, no injuries, just bad decision making. Millie says, either way, the road led us back to what we should have done 4 years ago and used the top pick to get a young QB here. I'm excited for the Bull, man. I'm excited for him. 2 rag seasons here. But if this doesn't further cement what logo business is to me, I don't know what is. I don't care if I campaign for a player to get here or anybody else does. When you ain't playing well, you got to go. Or bench minimum. With Desmond Ridder, as harsh as I was on Desmond, I said Desmond should just see the bench. He need to get behind somebody. They traded him. And I hate to keep bringing up Des because it was good to see the kid get another crack at it. The unfortunate part about it is he's getting another crack on a terrible team. But the one thing I've noticed about Atlanta, when people come here and go, they don't excel. The last player I could remember really leaving here and excelling was Brent Grimes. Y'all heard anything from Desmond Trufant? What about Vic Beasley? Quit football. What about Tack? The list can keep going. Julio, top tier player. Julio fell off a cliff. Matt Ryan fell off a cliff. Devontae Freeman. I can keep going, family. Yes, that smoke detector. Man, I got to get a ladder to get that bitch. Sorry if y'all hearing that smoke detector. I promise you, you won't hear it. You won't hear it the next time. I can keep going when it comes to players that come here, kidnap a paycheck, and then go elsewhere. They don't excel. So if history shows it, no matter where Kirk goes. And these aren't injury related. They're just bad decisions. And maybe the pressure got to him. But I'm sorry, if I got a young gun sitting right behind me ready to take my spot, you're gonna have to earn this one, little motherfucker, because I'm not giving you nothing. Kirk gave him this. But these are both business moves. Both of them are somewhat petty. Because Kirk could have easily just told his agent, "Hey, listen, man, I'm gonna waive my no trade. Well, I'm not gonna waive my no trade clause. Let's just wait till the end of the season, and when it's over, we can go address business. My job now is to be the best backup I can be and support this team in any way that I can." Y'all want to know how I know he didn't do that? Because all this is happening. His agent could have been like, "Well, let me go ahead and call." Nah, don't call him. Don't call him. I earned the bench. You saw me. I played terrible. I deserve to be on the bench, and that's cool. But at the end of the season, we'll just let them know that we're not going to waive it, and they'll have to cut me. If that would have stayed between them, Atlanta would really have no reason to come out on a day before Michael Penix's first start to say that they're going to cut Kirk Cousins. Christy says, "I thought Vic plays with the Arlington Renegade." Let me look this up. Hold on, let me look that up real quick. Oh yeah, Arlington, yeah, in the UFL. Okay, he does play football. Okay, I stand corrected. Appreciate that. The dirty says tax with the Jets. Yeah, you never hear about these guys excelling elsewhere. They come to Atlanta, kidnap a check. Matt Shaw rode off into the sunset with the cleanest jersey in NFL history. Man he didn't even have to wash his. Matt Schaub will pull up, sit on the sidelines with the jersey, with the uniform on, game over, take it off, put it right back in the locker. No, you don't need to clean that. That man jersey still smelling like Spice Bomb. the red joint smelling like cool water. Millie said, "Yeah, Vic did have success with the Eagles, but I mean, you talking about just the generational talent right there. Unfortunately, who took the game serious a little too late. But yeah, he did have success with the Eagles. But that's one out of just countless players, man. And Vic could run too. Vic can run and had a cannon for an arm. Cousins can't run. So the things that, make a lot of quarterbacks great, you're looking at Josh Allen, you're looking at Lamar Jackson, they can extend plays, they can scramble, they can get out of the pocket, they can do things to buy time. Patrick Mahomes, to a certain extent, he's not faster than those guys by any stretch of the imagination, but Patrick Mahomes can scramble and buy a couple of extra seconds to find an open receiver. Kirk can't. Can we put D'Angelo Hall in that category too? Ooh, man. Where did Hall go after us? Yeah, you know what? I can put him in that category because I can't even remember what team he went to. Oh no. Let me look this up. And shout out to Hall. Shout out to D Hall, man. Oh, he went to Washington. Okay. Man, I can't really remember his time with the Redskins. I can't. So I'm on the fence with that one. I don't remember his time there. Yeah, that's up in the air for me. Carlos says, we cut our losses and march on. It's going to be good for us. We're in the playoffs the next 5 years. Sturdy the defense and get pieces every draft. We're going to be a consistent contender. Hey, we'll see. This kid has 3 games and they are pivotal. We're not starting this rookie in games that don't matter. These are like devastating games to have. So if he can make all 3 and we find ourselves in the playoffs, we can honestly say that's never been done. We can say that's never been done. Because I was listening to Dan Patrick the other day, and he was talking about, in this instance, how many times this has been done. Our situation right now, 0. They've started quarterbacks late in the season that either already had playoff berths or they weren't seeing the playoffs. When Patrick Mahomes started in his rookie season, it was a bit different. I think he played a game, I think week 10 or something like that. I could be mistaken. But depending on what happens, I I think if you score 28 in each of these games, you win. And when you look at our losses and you look at the scoring output, now I get into a defense's ass all the time. But if your offense isn't doing anything, it almost neutralizes your defense. It does. I'm gonna keep it a stack, because the defense isn't built they're not built to score points. Your offense is, and you win with points. So when I look at our scoring output, Jesus, it's diabolical, man. Dude, we only scored 20 or better once in this 5-game skid. Saints, we put up 17. Broncos, we put up 6. Chargers, we put up 13. Vikings, we put up 21. And then the Raiders, we put up 15. I don't care how bad your defense is. You're losing all those games. The only reason you beat the Raiders is because they're pure trash. And they're on a backup quarterback who we know was pure trash because we had him last year. And you almost dropped that game. Now let's look at it. If you score 28, let's just say 28. Fuck that. Let's say 21. You beat the Saints, you beat the Chargers, and you beat the Raiders. That's 3 touchdowns. So if you just did that, you walk away 3-2. Now, if you walk away 3-2, you've pretty much shored up the division, or the division, the South. You've shored that up, because now you'd be sitting at 9 games. So you'd be a game above Tampa, owning Tampa because you beat Tampa with 3 games left against the Giants and the Panthers that you should beat. That's how horrible he played. Travis says, D-Hall, 10 years in Washington, 23 picks. Okay, well, it's definitely not a bust. Jack says, what's up, Marcus? Since he's got the leverage, would you cut him or make him sit back? I'm cutting him. Because you're not going to get the leverage back. If he's on this roster after March, you just paid him $10 million. So you have 0 leverage after that. Whether he gets traded or cut after that, he's still got the leverage. You want to take that 10 mil away from him, because you're already eating dead cap. We eating dead cap on Kirk Cousins right now as we speak. It's on the plate. So Kirk right now has all of the leverage. The only leverage we have is to cut him. So that would be a $10 million petty decision if Atlanta just said, you know what, you're going to sit your ass on this right. You think he cares? He wouldn't care. Would it mess up his ego? Probably. But Kirk ain't going to care. That no trade is a beast. Now, if he didn't have that on there, oh yeah. But then Atlanta would have difficulty trying to trade him. No, I can't really say that, because you can get him on one of the bad teams. But Atlanta is, you got to think, Atlanta's not getting, not only is Atlanta not getting anything from cutting him, we're losing. Because we got to pay his contract for next year. That's damn near mandatory at this point. But sometimes you have to do this to move on. And people that make this seem like it's a bad thing, I just point them in the direction of Cleveland. We're nowhere near Cleveland's situation. And the way that this contract was built was after that second year, things got we did not expect for Kirk to fall off the cliff it wasn't even mid-season. But if this kid wins the next 3 games, ain't nobody gonna be thinking about Kirk Cousins. That's just the honest fact to it. We win the next 3 games, find ourselves in the playoffs somehow, some way. Even if we lose in the playoffs, remember, the goal was the playoffs anyway. But you can't sit here with all this talent on offense. 1 tutty in 5 weeks. 1 tutty. 1. Again, Desmond Ridder threw the same amount of touchdowns that Kirk Cousins threw in 5 fucking weeks. That's a problem. But it's always gonna be about the logo. Who puts us in the best position to win? And right now, it's Michael Penix. And I liked the kid. I liked the kid's press conference. Well, what I heard. So we're gonna pull this up now. I know he got the news in in Costco of all places. And let me say once again, man, shout out to the Atlanta Falcons, because y'all would not realize how many of my videos have copyrights on them, because I don't care. I'm not in this to make money or whatever. So that's that. But the Falcons have never sent me one. Never. And this is their actual, hold on. This is their actual YouTube page. Now, again, maybe teams don't do this. I don't know. But I know anything attached to ESPN and some of these other greedy bastards, it don't matter how small your subscriber count is, they're going to send you something. And it's like, dude, really? Smitty said, what's going on, Smitty? What's happening? He says, Mark, did you rent the U-Haul? Well, what am I renting the U-Haul for, man? Oh, to get Kirk's shit up out of here. Listen, man, I always wish the best, for the other party in a breakup. I wish Kirk Cousins the best. Already, I wish him the best. Now that family, this is kind of a first for a lot of. Can you remember the last time you knew for a fact that a player was not going to be there the next year, and they're currently on the roster on the sideline? Usually this stuff, there's insinuations, there's, maybe he won't be back. I don't know how they can do this, but factually, like tomorrow, if Kirk Cousins, and I assume he's going to be there because he's a professional. I don't think he's going to pull a Marcus Mariota on us, right? I think he is going to be there for the last 3 games, right? Even with that, I mean, you almost have to give him the earpiece and shit like that, because anything can happen. Michael Penix can get out there and get hurt, which I'm going to give y'all a bonkers scenario. a bonkers one, right? This is in an alternate universe because I ain't wishing shit for this kid. I hope this kid is fully healthy. But let me put a scenario in front of you. What if Penix goes out there and in the first quarter gets hurt and you have to try Kirk Cousins back out there and Kirk Cousins falls out for the next 3 weeks? Do you rescind all this shit? This is why this stuff is better done in the off season. This is how I know Kirk told his agent to tell us, fuck you, we're not waiving the no trade clause. We want out. You're going to have to cut us. Nathan says, don't even put that shit up. I'm just saying in a Doctor Strange kind of way, in an alternate universe. Because I be looking at all this stuff. This is why this wasn't meant to happen this way. Kirk wanted this out here. And Atlanta facilitated it. Because, like I said about 20, we could have sat on this. But we said, man, you know what? Fuck you. We couldn't. Hey, y'all, the other 31 teams, y'all don't even have to worry about calling us or nothing. We cutting them. You can get them on the house. Think about what that's saying. We got to take on most of his contract. He's good. He's guaranteed 26 next year. That's on us. Come get him. If you want him, don't even call us to trade for him. We're cutting him. They could have waited to the end of the season. But I think there's some stuff going on behind the scenes where both parties have probably not been on the same page the entire season. And it probably started when we drafted this kid. So now everything's out. If Kirk is sitting on the sidelines, we know he's not even a Falcon next year, for sure. Now, in Michael Penix's case, is this a distraction for him? Player K says team officials said they haven't determined to cut Cousins or not. Hey, somebody told Adam Schefter, and you know Adam Schefter don't come down the pike unless somebody important told him that. Let me go pull this up real quick. Let's see. That's the first thing that comes up. Yep, even Tom Pelissero said this a couple of days ago. There's no way you keep Kirk Cousins. Not with the way that this contract is structured. All right. Let's see. Okay. Here comes Adam Schefter with some clarity. And it sounds like Cousins will indeed not be amenable to a trade. With sources in other front offices and likely armed with intel from Cousins' agent, Schefter suggests that as I suspected, the Falcons will move on from Cousins ahead of March 17th, when a $10 million roster bonus guarantees. The widespread expectation across the league, he reports, is that the Falcons will have to cut Cousins and send him to the open market. But again, Adam's not getting this news. He's not getting this news. He's not getting this news from nowhere. And again, let's just say it's Kirk Cousins' agent that leaked this shit. Right? Atlanta has already okayed it. Because I'm not seeing any pushback yet. And I'm looking. Now the Falcons could make an announcement. I don't know, but I guarantee you they cutting him. Jay Black says, Mark, I believe Kirk was bitter about the Penix draft, but that did not affect his play. After going 6-3, Kirk was set. His body and his not pushing off that leg caught up with him. To where he played poorly. Kirk can't blame anybody but himself. You can't put the fan base was behind you. Fan base was behind you heavy. The coaches were behind you. You know, Raheem co-signed on you for weeks and weeks and weeks when you should have been on the bench. Penix didn't force you to play bad. He's on the bench. And Penix is probably on the bench with the expectation he ain't even starting this year. I'm pretty sure Penix wasn't even thinking like, hey, I mean, from a professional standpoint, anything can happen. But the overall thing is, I'm gonna be on the bench for 2 years. I'll be 26 before I start. Sugar says he really hurt our fan base. We were just picking up. I don't know if he hurt the fan base. Because there still is a chance. I think the fact that we have Michael Penix is okay. Cousins isn't playing good. Let's go ahead and start the kid right now. Let's just go ahead and jumpstart the future, right? Because Penix is a tad bit older than some rookies that come out, right? So let's go ahead and start him, and let's just go ahead and get this future now. So I think he upset us. I don't even look at the money because it's like, man, this money comes and goes to these billionaires. And I've just seen way too many teams just get off of players knowing that they owe money. Look at what's going on in New York. I keep going to the Jets. You think we hurt a lot more than they are? Oh, they are crushed. Because unlike us, they got one of the best quarterbacks in history. And they have to win the next 3 games just to match what they won last year? At least we've already matched our wins for last year. So yeah, I'd say it upset because nobody likes to lose for a month. Ask the Saints. Nobody likes that. But the difference between us and the Saints had Spencer Rattler. Right? I don't think that's their future. I honestly don't think Spencer Rattler is their future. We're looking at our future. So that's the upside of it. If he comes out and he plays like we think he can play, hey, man, we're in a good position. Do I think he's going to be Mike Vick 2.0? No. We haven't, outside of Lamar Jackson, which I think is the closest you're probably going to get to Mike Vick 2.0. And I'd say it's a little better because the boy does have MVPs. But yeah, I don't think Penix is going to be Vic 2.0, and we don't need him to be. We just need him to be a great quarterback. Say what you want to say about Matt Ryan. And y'all know I cooked Matt Ryan in those last couple of years. Matt Ryan was a far better quarterback than Mike Vick. Those are facts. Just the experience as a whole, Matt Ryan could never match that. He could never match what Vic did as far as like the experience. King Fuego says they cutting him now and not in the offseason. No. The plan is, since Kirk Cousins is not going to waive his no trade clause, Atlanta has no choice but to cut him. Because if they don't cut him, he picks up an extra $10 million just to be on the roster, which is crazy. So they're going to cut him before that March. Where is that? That March 17th deadline. Player K says, hold on. The hell? Okay, all right, why is this not coming off, bruh? Okay, there we go. A little slow. He says, what I'm more interested to see now is how Raheem handles the QB situation. We're still going to need Kirk in some way if we make the playoffs, tutelage or playing. I honestly, and this is just from a personal belief, I think not only is Kirk going to be there, I think Kirk is going to be a professional about everything. I just don't see Kirk not showing up because that looks bad on him. And I've never seen Kirk do anything like that. But then again, I can't remember a situation. I'm trying to think of one where like this kind of news happened like this. Usually this happens like when the season's over. And if this is just Kirk's agents doing and that Atlanta has nothing to do with this is a bad look on the agent. But this is how I know Kirk talked to his agent about him not waiving that clause. Travis said yes. Travis says that Russell Wilson contract with Pittsburgh looks better and better for them. Yeah, got him for a bargain price. And he did not have a bad that last year in Denver. He did not have a bad year. He just wasn't Sean Payton's guy. Sean Payton went and got his guy. But Russell was never his guy. But yeah, with that being said, we'll go ahead and clock into Penix's press conference.
Did you walk us through getting a call or meeting or however it went down last night when you were informed that you would be the starting quarterback for the next game for the Atlanta Falcons?
Yeah, I was actually shopping. I was shopping with my girlfriend. We was at Costco, and I got the call, and they told me that I was going to be the starting quarterback, for the rest of the season, and as you can imagine, it was some nerves, it was excitement, but I'm just super blessed to be in this position, super blessed to be on this team for the opportunity, and it was always like I always say, my family, they always say, just trusting God, trusting the process, and go about each and every day, with that trust and belief that whenever it's your time, it's your time, and they called last night and they said it was my time, so.
Okay, it's your time now. You told me about taking the mental reps and getting ready that way. And I guess you get a week of work this week. How are you trying to, get the work in now to be ready by 1 p.m. on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, just the mental reps, that was always there. Always make sure I'm prepared. Preparing like the starter and always being ready because I didn't know when my number was going to be called. It could have been called at any point, so just me making sure I was ready, that was the biggest thing. And, as far as you talking about like the physical part, as far as getting the reps with the guys, that'll come this week. And we got this week to prepare. And, I already talked to some of the receivers and they said they're ready to, get those reps. If we got to do it after practice to get more, they're willing to. And, that's the biggest thing, just make sure I find time to get with those guys. So.
Mike, Kirk said he called you last night. What was that conversation like?
Yeah, he just told me that, he's in my corner, the same way that I was for him whenever he was the starter. He said that he was going to come into the building, continue to stay positive and, do whatever he can to help me out and, help this team win football games. So.
Y'all get anything special at Costco after you heard the news?
Now, let me say this. In defense of Desmond Ridder, I did not like the way Marcus Mariota did him as a vet. He should have been and again, Mariota earned the bench. But instead of being there for the kid, like the kid was for him, he disappeared. Now, I can never respect Marcus Mariota for that. As much as we clown Dez, and a lot of it is warranted, man, when you look at what we set the kid up for, it was pure failure. It was pure failure. on our end. Now he didn't play well, but again, we didn't stand this kid up like he should have been. And I just don't see tomorrow us coming out to the field and Kirk Cousins is not in uniform. I just don't see that. I don't.
Oh man. So I did. I had. I was actually getting a hot dog, and whenever I got the call, I wasn't hungry no more. So yeah. So
That's more of a steak dinner news more than a Costco hot dog news, right?
yeah. You said what?
It's more of a steak dinner.
Oh man.
Costco hot dog news.
Yeah, man. But I was at Costco. I needed groceries.
And Michael, how challenging has it been to you, just as a competitor, to bide your time and wait for this opportunity? You know, knowing Kirk's a veteran and what the situation was when you got drafted, but you know, wanting to get out there and play, what was that like for you to process and deal with?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was challenging. It was something that I had to adapt to. Obviously, being a starter in college for 5 years, maybe 6. I was in for a little minute, but like 5 years. Just each and every day. Just make sure I'm preparing like the starter. Like I said, I wouldn't say it was challenging at all. But for me, it was just learning that new position. Just learning how to take those mental reps so that you can always be ready and and always coming in the building each and every day. As a leader, all quarterbacks, we're our position, it requires us to be leaders. And, for me, it was like, just always just come in, lead, just make your presence felt. And, at the end of the day, whenever it's your time, it's your time. I wasn't really, focused on, I want to play right now, or this and that. It was what can I do to help this team win football games? And for this whole season, it's been scout team, and I've been doing my best to make sure the defense was ready, and prepared each and every week. If we had a running quarterback, I'll try to scramble more. If we had more pocket pass, I was in the pocket. But
Hey, and let me cut him off and say this too. Y'all think that scout team ain't watched that boy spin that ball, especially in this slump? Like, imagine seeing your quarterback throwing for the other team, and just confidence is not only confidence is lost with him, it's lost with the whole offense. You're seeing players when the ball is thrown behind them, it's just dejected. And then you step out there and watch this kid spin it like he's spinning it. And you're like, shit, man. Hey, coach. Hey, maybe we need to sit old Yeller down, man. This kid out here balling. So could be a lot of that too.
Just playing my role and doing that the best I can, because it's about this team winning football games.
There's been a lot of fans have been, eager to see you play in a real game. And to get this moment, what did you say to the anticipation that the fans may have for you?
Can you say it again? You said just to the fans?
Timothy says, I think that's why they didn't let him play any more preseason. They didn't want the fans to see the difference in arms. I think we still saw it though. Again, what I saw was his confidence in the pocket and him being able to spin it. And him and Casey Washington were they had a connection. So yeah, that definitely could be, that, and then, just preventing them from getting hurt in the preseason, because we lost. Then we lost 2 guys in the preseason. Yeah. So yes, it's that too.
A lot of fans that I've heard just anecdotally waiting to see you get this opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Now that it's coming, what do you say to the fans in terms of maybe what to expect and how to, go through it?
Yeah, man. I feel like we got the best fans in the league. So for them, I feel like we should always put on a show for them. And Kirk done a great job all season. Especially all our home games. You see him crowd surfing. Getting the crowd into it. and obviously it's going to be in a different way, for me. Me and him obviously aren't the same person, but I got to find that way to, connect with the fans, and obviously for us, it's about winning football games at the end of the day, and that's what everybody want to see. So we got to find a way to do that, and we're ready to. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of rookies started late in the season. Pat Mahomes, go back to Todd Marinovich, but they weren't in the playoff race. You coming in where there's still, stuff to be playing for. How does that? How do you deal with that part of it? Is that, hey, y'all, they're trying to win games, get in the playoffs here?
Yeah, man. My previous coach, we used to always preach want to know mindset, and I'm really focused on this week right now, and that's all I can focus on right now is what we got in front of us, and that's the Giants, and trying to make sure I'm prepared to be able to do whatever it takes to help us win this football game, and we'll take it one step at a time. I'm not looking too far ahead, like, oh, this is a playoff game, but as long as we execute and do what we have to do, we'll come out with a win, and the playoffs, that's something that come with it. But I'm just trying to stay in the moment right now. So
yeah, how tough was it as you saw Bo Nix playing, Jada playing great guys that were in your draft class getting on the field? Well, JJ got hurt, but mostly everybody's been out there already.
I mean, it's not tough. I was excited for him. I'm happy for him. We're in different positions. Obviously we brought in Kirk, who was a vet, and I looked at it as an opportunity to learn, an opportunity to grow in each and every day, and just soak in the process, and so that whenever my time does come, I'll be ready. So I wouldn't look at it as challenging. I was super excited for those guys. I know a lot of those guys through either playing with them or seeing Jaden at the combine and training with him. So I'm just super excited for them. And obviously we're not in the same position, so I didn't look at it in a bad way.
Just internalize your situation.
You say it again?
I think you just tried to internalize your
Yeah. I mean, everybody's situation is different. Like I said, Kirk, he's great. He's a vet. He's done a lot of great things in this league, and so I knew the position I was in, and I looked at it as an opportunity to learn.
You're known for your even kill disposition, steady heartbeat, but this is a big moment for you. You thought about what it's going to be like, that opening kickoff, your first snap as a starter?
Oh man, I was basically thinking about just leading up to it. I was like, all right, if we running out of the tunnel, that'll be my first time running out of the tunnel, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm be nervous running out of that tunnel. But whenever I get on the field, it's a whole different mentality. Like, it's a flip switch. I'm ready to go, so I'm gonna be ready.
Were you kind of surprised at this point in the season that they were making the quarterback change, especially since the way it started? You guys were in first, and then how things ended now.
I don't know if I'll say surprise, but I mean, for me, I was just so in the moment, just trying to make sure I was ready for when that time did come. It was like, okay, whenever it does come, I'm gonna be ready for it. It's not like, oh, I was gonna be surprised by it or anything. Not saying like it's something that I expected. At the end of the day, I just wanted to be ready, and that was the biggest thing for me. Like, just be ready, just be ready, just be ready. You never know. So.
Like, you keep talking about the opportunities that you've had to learn. What have you learned so far?
Yeah, from Kirk, man, a lot. Like, Kirk, just the way he processed, the way he speaks to the team, in meetings on the field, just the command he has, to the offense, getting things the way that he wanted so that, he could play fast. And, it's just the things he said in the huddle. I was in the huddle today and walkthroughs, and like just remember some of the stuff he did and just saying it the way he said it, because like, man, I look up to Kirk, and like Kirk, like, to be honest, Kirk couldn't do no wrong in my eyes. So it was like, dang.
Now, who does this remind you of? Who does this remind you of? Now, I'm not making any comparisons, honestly, as far as on the field. What he needs to learn the most from Kirk Cousins is you can't turn the ball over as much as he did. You can't give the team the ball, right? But this reminds me of how Patrick Mahomes talked about Alex Smith before he took over. And, we know the rest with Alex Smith. I mean, health-wise, he couldn't play the game anymore. But Alex Smith was like a Kirk Cousins. He can win in the regular season. The boy could ball out in the regular season, but he couldn't get you over the hump. So they brought in guys that can get them over the hump. Remember what happened in San Francisco? He was the QB in San Francisco. They had winning seasons, couldn't get him over the hump. They brought in Colin Kaepernick, made it to the Super Bowl, and was honestly a penalty away from winning the Super Bowl, by the way, too. Then he went to Kansas City, winning in the regular season, couldn't do it in the playoffs. Brought in Patrick Mahomes, rest is history. So I'm hoping some of that magic sprinkles our way. You know, where you have a regular season quarterback in Kirk Cousins. What was the knock on him? He can't get over the hump in the playoffs. So they drafted a guy, sits behind him, in Michael Penix. Now, his play caused him to get on the bench. Alex Smith just couldn't stay healthy. He just couldn't. But he sounds eerily similar to Patrick Mahomes when he's talking about the previous quarterback that came before him.
Like when I saw him in camp, leading all the way up through the season, it's like he's special. Like he's doing that at this age, and he did a great job. And I'm talking about getting through his progressions, making a pass to the fifth read. Our fifth read, like you don't see that a lot. Scoring touchdowns and doing stuff like that. It's like, dang, how's he processing the game so quickly to get to that fifth read, to make that play? You're just trying to learn stuff like that, and just seeing how he cancel out certain routes and stuff like that based on coverages. I feel like I learned a lot of that, and I'm ready to showcase it. So
I know you haven't had a lot of time to have conversations outside of this building to this point since this is all happening so quickly, but what was your family's reaction and what's the reception been like?
Yeah, my dad, he was excited. He kind of like got me off the phone. He was like, I got to tell your uncles. I got to tell you. And I was like, dang, you ain't going to like, he was like, congrats. All right. I'm going to talk to you later. I'm going to call your uncle. Okay, like, I appreciate it, but they're all excited. Me and my girl, we're actually hosting Christmas this year, so a lot of family is already coming up. They'll be at the game, so that'll be good.
How excited are you? It seems like a simple question, but you seem very even-keeled 99% of the time.
Yeah, I'm excited. I got a lot of feelings. I don't know what they are, but I'm just ready to play. I'm excited. I'm blessed. Like I said, I'm blessed to be in this position. I'm blessed to have the opportunity, and I'm just gonna make sure I take full advantage of it. So.
I asked Zach about how you're handling just fitting out the play calls and so forth, and he was saying that he could tell from the time the off-season stuff ended to the time you came back to.
It's different.
For the time you and off-season ended to the time you went to training camp, you made a big jump, and clearly you've been working hard on it. Can you kind of go into what you were doing and what was working to help you learn how to learn the offense and repeat the calls?
It takes reps. Everything takes reps. When I first got here, I didn't have those reps. But as I got the reps, studying the playbook, as far as like what routes we combine with others, for the backside part of the route and, protection and stuff like that, but it just took reps, like he said, I made that jump because I was taking those reps, whenever we were off, just making sure I'm getting ready for that moment. And that's all it was, just reps each and every day. So
was it sort of thing like kind of studying for a test, or was someone helping you, or how did it work for you?
So I would say plays in my phone and listen to it and then say it again, just stuff like that. It's kind of a test, I guess. You can say it was a test, definitely. But sometimes I just try to memorize a play, like without even hearing the play or like reading the play. Just, okay, this was one of our plays this week. And just doing it like that, and so I can get a better understanding of it.
How has your leadership role changed now, going from QB2 to now starting QB?
At the end of the day, like I feel like I was always a leader, just always trying to find ways to, help impact the team and, help the team be ready for game week, but, in meetings and stuff like that, coach would look at me to say how I feel about a certain route and stuff like that, and previous it was Kirk, he asked Kirk, how do you like this route ran? And Kirk would speak up in meetings, and now I take on that role, so I guess it's like small stuff like that that's different. But I just got to be myself. I don't feel like I got to be anybody else. I don't have to, try too hard to be the big leader, the vocal leader. Like, just be myself and, just trust in my preparation and, bring everybody along with me. So,
as you approach this milestone, is there a piece of advice that stuck with you?
be you. That really just came to my head because like it's just be you. You know, it doesn't matter what circumstance. You know, it doesn't matter what what your position is at that time. You know, just be yourself, and the guys they'll gravitate to you, and as long as you're genuine, the guys they'll they can relate to that. But if you try to be somebody else, people can see that, and nobody likes when you trying to be somebody else. So I just try to be myself every day. So.
Obviously, you've been right there in it. You talked about preparing like you're the starter, you've been on scout teams, so you're really well versed in what they're asking you to do offensively. But how comfortable are you in the verbiage and everything that will be asked of you on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm very comfortable. I gotta be, but I am though. Like I said, just all the reps, the mental reps that I was taking all throughout the weeks. I'm just making sure, like on the sideline, when I'm hearing the play call in my helmet, I'm saying it out to myself. Looking at the defense, calling what calls I feel like I would make if I was out there on the field. It's different because Kirk had the 300+ pound D lineman running at him, and I didn't. So it was like I probably saw something different in Kirk. So when he comes to the sideline, I'm like, hey, Kirk, what'd you see there, or stuff like that, or we get on the iPads and just go over stuff like that. But man, I'm confident. I'm ready to go, and this week is gonna help me become more ready. So I still got a lot to learn.
What's the ticket request like? Like crazy?
It's crazy. It's crazy. I probably have like. It's not just asking me, cause I'm not paying for 35 tickets, but it's about 35, maybe more. I don't know. A lot.
What time did you get here this morning?
What time did I get here this morning? I got here around like 11. We didn't have to be here till 1. So, yeah, they let us sleep in, so I slept in.
Anything else?
Appreciate it.
All right, man. That's the Young Bulls press conference. His first one as our starting QB. And man, listen, there have been a couple of digs at Penix as far as like athleticism. Let me start off by saying this: he's a lot faster than Kirk Cousins. His demeanor reminds me of Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is never really up and down during press conferences. He does get fiery to a certain extent, during the games. And if he's got a Jalen Hurts type of play style, I'll take that, because right now, look at where they are in the conference. But I like the kid's demeanor. Carlos says them saying they're willing to stay after practice is a good indication of the excitement and hunger for the change. Yeah, hey, these guys want their touches. But I don't think him being a lefty is really going to change how these guys play as far as play their positions, as far as wide receiver, tight end, et cetera, et cetera. Those guys are professional. That ball, they say the ball spins different. I'm a left-hander. I'm a lefty. I've never, catching a ball from a left-hander or a right-hander, or lefty or righty, no difference. I can catch the ball no matter what. And I'm 43. I never felt the ball spun different. If you can catch a ball, you can catch a ball. That's all there is to it. And remember, Tua is a lefty too. That ain't stopped Tyreek Hill, even though this season did. But yeah, man. So I feel like, again, I'm not changing my new rules. That kid got to go out there and earn it. You got to go out there and earn it. I wish the kid the best. That's all I can do. He's got to go out there and earn it now. Just like Kirk Cousins earned the bench, young bull, you got to earn your time. Oh, wow. Mark, what do you think about Pitt's comment on the QB change? I just work here. Oh, man. I haven't heard that. I have not heard that. Hold on, let me look at. Yeah, Kyle Pitts is probably dejected at this point, man. He hasn't really gotten a fair shake, and they might be telling him he's on his way out too. But yeah, let me pull it up. So, Kyle Pitts has 4-word response to Falcons benching Kirk Cousins. I just work here, Falcons tight end Kyle Pitts said in response to Atlanta's latest quarterback change. The immensely talented former top 5 pick has been through his share of signal callers since being drafted in 2021, which is true. He's on his 5th quarterback. Actually, 6th, if you count Taylor Heineke, because you got Matt Ryan, you got Marcus Mariota, you got Desmond Ridder, you got Taylor Heineke, you got Kirk Cousins, and you got he's on 6th. He's on his 6th quarterback. Jesus. Pitts 24 began his career with Matt Ryan under center before Marcus Mariota took over in 2022, 2023. Okay, so we got past that. He just says, Penix will be the 6th quarterback Pitts has played with in his 4 NFL seasons, so it's easy to understand why the tight end is apprehensive to say something drastic. I don't think it would have happened this early or now, said Pitts on the latest quarterback change. Also, I just work here. Yeah, it might just sound like he don't want to say anything that'll get him in trouble. That's probably what it is. That's probably what it is. Because remember, when we were in not conversations, when we had Deshaun Watson, you remember Kyle Pitts put up a tweet talking about scary hours, right? So I think with a guy like Kyle Pitts, man, hey, I don't give a fuck. Somebody got to get me this ball sooner or later. Sooner or later, somebody got to give me this ball. Because aside from Matt Ryan, they have not been looking for me. And remember, Matt Ryan wasn't really looking for him until the London game after Calvin Ridley decided, hey, you know what, I need to take a break from football. And we didn't have a receiver to speak of. But we had this guy that we drafted at 4 that was called the Unicorn. And Matt Ryan just said, fuck it, I'm going to throw it to him. And you saw how things turned out after that. So, yeah, I don't see anything bad with what he said. Timothy says, as much as I hate that the Cousins deal, that Watson deal would have been the worst. Oh, yes. The worst deal in NFL history. People forget, not only did they pay this man fully guaranteed money, but they had to give up picks. Oh, thinking about if we would have pulled the oh my goodness. It was already hard being a Falcons fan at that point. Oh my God. At least with this, it's like, okay, we got to swallow 180 million. Pause. But we did get another quarterback out of the deal. That could be the goods. He could be the good. He could be the future for the next decade. Let's just go down this rabbit hole. Let's say Penix is the truth. Let's just say he is the truth, the cocaine that has not been stepped on. Let's just say he's the fentanyl. He's so pure. Let's just say that, right? You think in 3 years we're going to be thinking about this contract that we gave Kirk Cousins? Honestly. You think we're going to look back and be like, man, you know what? Atlanta really gave Kirk Cousins we really gave Kirk Cousins 180 million, 100 million guaranteed. I can tell y'all why I know y'all won't be talking about this, because we don't even talk about Matt Ryan's dead cap hit that we swallowed. We don't even talk about that no more. When we went through it, we talked about it. When we got out of it, okay. But if this kid happens to turn out to be the goods, man, to me, this is a warm-up game. I'm gonna be paying attention to this Washington game that they flexed in on Sunday night. I'm gonna be paying attention to that. Now, Zach Robinson, you up underneath the microscope, my bro. You already wobbly as a coordinator. They done gave you this young bull with a cannon for an arm. To be honest, fam, our first series, first 2 plays need to be run plays. I gotta get the kid just in the fact that he's in an NFL game. So the first series to me is almost a throwaway because this is the Giants we're playing. This is the Giants. So if we win the toss, I'm deferring. And then when we get the ball, it's really a throwaway series. I just need to get this kid acclimated to being on this field in a professional football game. And I got one of the best backs in the league right now anyway. First 2 plays are run plays. Then depending on where we're at with those 2 run plays, if we're like in a third and 6, I'm gonna let him spin it. But I just got to get him acclimated. That's it. I'm not coming out play action. That would be wild work from Zach Robinson. Wild work. I just want to get my young QB settled under center, knowing that it's completely off your shoulders the first 2 plays. It's on Bijan. Bijan can handle it. Hell, what did we do? What did we do last week? First downs, first half, gave it to Bijan with a $180 million quarterback. So that first drive, those first 2 plays need to be run plays. Carlos says 35 family members gonna have him showing out. This the game before Christmas. Oh, Falcons want to give Falcons fans a Christmas present. Get us a dub. Cowboys, I'm looking specifically at y'all. I need a Christmas present from y'all. I know y'all salty. I know I made a song about y'all. I know I did. I know I was on my petty shit. I was really on my petty shit. But I need you. I need you. Philly, give your boy a Christmas present. We need y'all right now. We both smoked on a pack. We both smoked on y'all. We did. I mean, I might delete the song. Let me make a deal with Cowboys fans. Not the Cowboys fans. Dallas Cowboys. If y'all win, I'll delete the song. I just delete it. I'm gonna keep my stream up though. I'll delete the song. Timothy says people laughed at the Eagles when they had to trade Wentz and all that dead money. Nobody does. Nobody does. And you remember Jalen Hurts' first year was skittish. It wasn't really all that great. And next year though. But yeah, when you're bringing up money to billionaire owners. What's 180 million to Arthur Smith? Honestly. Man, that's apparel money. I'm pretty sure. You know what? Let me see if I can Google this. Okay. I'm gonna put this up and then I'm gonna take it down. People now, this was 180 million over the course of 4 years, right? That's what they made last year. $585 million. They could have bought 3 Kirk Cousins just last year. His deal was spread over 4 years. So I'm like, man, us complaining about it don't matter. It don't matter. That means nothing. That means nothing to Arthur Smith. Arthur Blank, not Arthur Smith. Fuck him. That means nothing to Blank. I get to spread that over 4 years. We made damn near 600 million last year. And our record was 7-9. 7-9, 7-10. That's how much we did last year. Or he did. I ain't get shit. So I'm like, I don't care, especially the way that these teams are eating contracts now. They don't care. And again, I'm not even mad for Kirk getting the bag. Get your bag, bro. This might be the last one you get, though. Now, your agent walking into the Hall of Fame. Your agent need to be walking into Canton within like 4 years. But your agent, boy, if your agent can get you another bag, man, they need to write books about your agent. If he can get you another bag, this is probably the last one you're gonna get. Fully get with that much fully guaranteed, this is the last one you're gonna get, bro. Sure. Sure, Bus says Blake spends that much on side chicks. Probably. Blake ain't thinking about that money, man. So I'm like, if a billionaire ain't thinking about that money, I damn sure ain't thinking about it. It is what it is. Now, again, from a cap perspective, I can understand it completely. But this contract wasn't meant to put us in dire straits. So we'll be all right. We'll be all right. Carlos says, did you read the quote about the exotic blitz package they tried him with? Tried who with? I haven't heard about that one. William says, I want Zach gone too. Well, we'll definitely see what Zach got immediately. Team like the Giants that are just waiting to get pushed up. Giants they're not really going to give you that much resistance. So to me, even with a rookie quarterback on his first start, you need to put up at least 24 minimum. Oh, okay. They tried to blitz Penix in practice and he torched them. I believe it. He's got mobility and he's got a deep arm. He's got that deep throw. I think the Giants are probably going to go out there and try and throw the kitchen sink at him, especially the first 2 or 3 series, to see if they can rattle him because he is a rookie. That's what I would do. Case in point, the Tampa and Saints game that they played when Spencer Rattler was starting. Spencer was torching these boys. He looked good in the first half. Second half, they just sent everything at him. Boy, completely flatlined. Completely flatlined. That's what you do to a rookie, man. Sometimes, as a DC, you ain't even caring about getting torched. If you can get to him enough times to get him off that clock, he'll do the rest of it. He'll do the rest of it himself. Remember what they did to Desmond Ridder? We're going to put 8 in the box. You're going to have to beat us with your arm. Dez started playing for the other team. Art says, exactly. If Denver can survive 85 with Russ, we can survive with Kirk 65. Yeah. And then there's other verbiage where we can split the dead cap money inside of 2 years instead of taking it all in one. So yeah, man, I don't think we should be stressed about this at all, especially if we can get into the playoffs and we have a future with the quarterback. So the way I look at it, Zach, this your time. Now, Jimmy Lake, I'll holler at you in the Washington game because your defense has looked good on 2 teams that don't really score that much. But the minute you ran into Minnesota, you gave up. And now you gave a lot of that up in the fourth quarter. So Washington game, I'm gonna look at this defense, even though the defense looks a lot more aggressive. They look a lot more aggressive after the bye. So with that being said, fam, your boy is going to go ahead and get up out of here because I will be back on tomorrow. Win, lose, or draw. Hopefully we smoking on a Giants pack. We should be smoking on a Giants pack. But in all honesty, I definitely will be paying attention to this offense. What are we running? If Zach actually lets the kid off the leash early, like I said, his first series should just be him getting acclimated because you are playing the Giants. So I'm not putting a lot of pressure on him in that first series, especially when you got Bijan and you got Tyler right behind him. After that first series, I'm going to let him go a little bit. So we will see. But fam, we will reconvene back here tomorrow after the game to chop up good game, man. So with that being said and done, your boy is out. Have a great Saturday. Talk to you tomorrow. Peace.